Howdy, partners. Sorry, I have to go with it since the shirt. But hey, welcome. I'm actually getting to more inefficient bookworm was exactly what I was going to say. Inconsistent bookworm. It's just my brain is just a mush of random bullshit, I swear. But yes, I'm finally getting back to my inconsistent bookworms, even though it just was last week when I posted 3 fucking videos within a day. But I still have more manga I've gotten to. In fact, since I posted those 3 videos, I finished 2 more mangas on top of the more that I need to finish doing reviews for. I'm a little behind. So, hey, if we're gonna get this started, we're gonna start with the one I just recently finished. Overlord. Overlord Volume 1 to be exact, of course. Now, I didn't know a ton about this. I just knew that it was fairly beloved by many people who are really hardcore anime folks. I'm like, alright, maybe it's good, maybe it's crap, I don't know. And a lot of them said that it actually has really good writing. Some of it said the action is really interesting and the world is interesting. And the premise from it, to summarize it, is a guy who goes by the in character name. Because, in all essence, this takes place in an MMO called Yggdrasil. I think is how it's pronounced. I'm not on the pronunciation. Not because it's Japanese, but because it's Norse. Yeah, those who are not in the know, Yggdrasil, Yggdrasil, there's an R there that really messes with how my brain wants to pronounce it, is pretty much the life tree in Norse mythology. It connects all the 9 realms. So, this guy, he plays the game. He goes by the name of Monomaga. I'm not sure how that's supposed to exactly be pronounced. I will eventually get to the anime. I always read the mangas usually first. The few were when I started as a kid. And also like this, because they did not release the manga out here in the United States. In fact, I don't think it had a manga until just recently. So I was like, alright, let me get into this and see what's going on. Because, like I said, this guy, his name, Monomaga, or however you wish to pronounce it, he gets stuck in Yggdrasil, the world. He gets just pretty much, he's this ultra powerful, like, think somebody who has done every raid in all of WoW, and they have all the best powers, the best gear, everything. Those who have seen Ready Player One, think pretty much, oh, what was his name? Pretty much Rapey McRapers Fry from that. I can't remember even the actual actor's name, TJ Miller. Think his character from that movie. Pretty much, there's not much more for him, but just to be a part of, his group, his not really clan, guild, was actually what they call them. They call it Aang's own ghoul or goal or something like that. It's so weird how they have it spelt and how they have it pronounced. It's one of those like, oh, okay, so y'all are totally just trying to be Aang's old gown. Like, if I show it to y'all can go, how do you spell that? But they're part of this guild, and him and his one buddy are just kind of talking, and they're just kind of discussing the end of this thing, and they're like, alright, look forward to seeing you in the next game, because this game has been going for like 13 years straight. It's like, wow, it lasted less than WoW. Because I think WoW's been going straight since 2004, though technically, I guess, it doesn't exactly explain, but WoW has had, obviously, additions and changes of the world, especially thanks to Cataclysm. Yes, I do know some WoW stuff. So, maybe this has done that, I don't know. But yeah, they're talking about how they're going to meet up with each other, and Monomaga's just kind of sitting there. He's waiting until midnight when servers supposed to shut off, and he stays. He's still there. he's able to interact with still all the different characters, and that's the weird part, because they used to act just like NPCs throughout everything, but now he's actually able to talk with them. They talk with him, carry on conversations, but he still has all his gear, he still has all his powers and everything. And from here, the first volume is him figuring out what this all means. And in all essence, what it means is, I think I need to take control of all this. Though here it's a lot less nefarious. Very early on, the guy who plays Monomaka, you can tell that he's probably a younger gentleman. It's just the only visuals you get of him is that he is wearing a helmet. And at one point it's pretty much like a VR kind of game in a way. And he's sitting in his chair and he's talking through a mic to his buddy. That's the only visual you get of him. You just get his mouth in all essence and his body type, which is like a skinnier guy. So like, he could be like 20 to 30 or something like that. He's just he's protagonist that you can just put yourself into, I believe, is the idea. In a fashion. But he eventually just decides, I'm going to just control all of this since I'm stuck here. Because he doesn't know even where to begin to get himself out. But he's not trying to control it all just because he's wanting to be evil, because he has an undead character. Like, out of all of these characters that you see on this, which I will say this is actually a really lovely cover, this is your main hero. He looks as skeletal and as, just like, as much of like you would think the bad guy would look as you can believe. So he, like I said, he tests his powers. You get to see him he still has all the stuff. He even realizes at one point by saving this village that all the stuff from Yggdrasil is still there, and there might be other people. So he comes up with actually kind of smart ideas. Like, alright, if I at least branch out and stay beyond just my little tomb, pretty much, I created, that all these different people worked on, because it's a easily able to be modified game. Well, I closed it for 12 years when WoW's been going on for 14. It doesn't even have this level of user modification capability. I don't know. But he decides to branch out beyond just this like super uber dungeon they built. Not just to control everything, because I'm going to be evil like my undead human thing thinks. But because he wants to see if there's anybody else there and see if they know what's going on. It's not a terrible idea. Now, I have to say, and I'm just going to start off with this, the writing in this book is actually really damn good. The main character, Monomaga, he does do some things that are kind of odd to me. Like, he constantly keeps wanting people to refer to him as different names. I never get why, but they do. But, who knows? But beyond that, the reasoning for him to do stuff and how he does stuff makes sense. There's never a time where you're like, oh, well, he's just doing that just cuz. And not only that, but this actually is a story that's meant to be for more mature audience. It says older teen, but probably closer to that of the 17 or older crowd, because there's some harder cussing, like fuck is thrown out a few times, like a number of shits come out. There's a decent amount of blood. And I was like, alright, cool. But it never feels perverse, which is something I'm happy about. And even then, like, there's a character that he just messes around, like, near the end of it. He, like, when he thinks the server's about to die, he's like, he changes her code and says, like, instead of her just being, like, this all-over protective person, she is in love with his character, and he just says it just for the lulz. But she actually is in love with him, and, yeah, hijinks kind of ensue, but they're funny every time they happen, because he's just like, so like, oh, whoops, I did not mean that to happen. And it has the classic like anime or pretty much manga trope of him just having that like very like ooh face. And I don't know why, but because I guess the art style is actually very ultra fantasy, it really breaks it at times and makes it feel very hilarious, for lack of a better term. Also, the art style throughout this entire book is really damn good. Some people might complain that, hey, there's not as much, like, there's not a ton of backgrounds and shit like that, but to be fair, the focus tends to be on the characters and what they're doing, their actions. I was trying to find a good example. I'm like, I'm just flipping through it too fast and I want to read it now. Like, I can't, not in front of y'all. But yeah, the art is actually really damn good in this. I don't know if I have anything else done by this particular artist. I'll look it up. Hugin Miyama, I believe is how it's pronounced. Or Hugin. Hugin. Sorry, Hugin is how it looks like to me. Dumb American every time I have to explain. Yeah, good artwork, great writing. If I can say anything, it's like, oh, I wanted it to be more stuff. But that's the reason why it's volume 1 and not, hey, this is for 17 chapters. I will say, this is really damn good. I get why this has been praised so much. Now, one issue I'm going to point out, and it's just a minor bit of a nitpick, this is actually a few dollars more than most other mangas when it's the same damn size. I mean, look, it's the same width, it's the same size, everything. I would understand if it's a hardback, like the Gundam Origin books that they've been releasing. I totally get why those are more expensive. It's a hardcover, it's much, much thicker, much more information, much more going on. Hell, the 3 volume things of mangas that they've released, like with Dragon Ball Z, Attack on Titan, Full Metal Alchemist, any of the bigger, well-known mangas out there, totally get that. Totally get that they have the higher price tag. This one, it's not like super expensive, but it retails here in the US for $13. And I'm like, that's a little bit harder of a pill to swallow. Like, just to explain to you, it's like, I know this is an older one, but I mean, here's Sayabusa right here, volume 3. It's slightly thicker, and yeah, it's put out by a different company. But I mean, it's $10.95. That's a normal price for most mangas. Or hell, let's go with the most prevalent, Shonen Jump. Right here, One Punch Man. Yeah, I do have One Punch Man volume 2 here. $9.99. I'm like, okay, it's kind of hard for me to always justify and say it's okay to spend more money on something that's similar amount that you're getting. But I will say it justifies the price. The writing's very good in it. The art is very damn good, and it's an interesting world already. I'm curious enough to keep going through it, and I'm like, all right. But I would say this is going to be a manga that's going to be easier to drop off because of that price tag. It's a newer manga, I will say that much, but once they begin to, unless they decide to jack the price up on everything, I mean, the price tag makes it a little easier for me to leave this behind if it begins to turn more sour. Like if the writing begins getting real bad or art begins getting really shitty. Speaking of something I need to talk about when I get to it. I make people so mad with the review I'm going to do here in about a week or so. But in the meantime, though, if you have the money and you want to go ahead and invest a little bit more change than normal, go with Overlord. It's worth it, I believe. Right now, Volume 1, if you want to start with it, go ahead. It's a good addition to your entire collection. My entire collection is just growing wildly, wildly out of control. Oh, Megan is so going to kill me with how many that we got to figure out a place for. But hey, hopefully it stays good. I'm going to pick up Volume 2. That's the one I don't even have Volume 2 yet. I'm going to get in. Hopefully it's as fantastic as this first one. So, kudos. Read Overlord Volume 1. And hey, if y'all find Volume 2 for a decent price, let me know. I'll probably go buy it then. So, hey, I'll see y'all probably here in just like a couple of minutes. So, bye-bye, everybody.